review of the results. Let's get to the article here. I have here some screenshots and the results achieved. Yeah. Probably one of the most important changes in how companies execute strategy, how companies discuss strategies, is that now when you have everything on the platform, you have a single source of truth of your strategy. So normally it's like, so what we are doing, why we are doing it? To answer this question, you need to go and search in spreadsheets, you need to go search in some documents. Here you have it all in one place. Yeah. So for example, for master plan, if we have like create accessible green areas, I can go here and I can upload some supporting documents. Yeah. If I, for example, like partner with municipal governments to plan this initiative, what I can do, I can add some documents here, or add links to the documents, or actually upload certain documents to the system. So ideally, you have everything in one place. You have your goals, you have your goals, you have your initiatives, you have your metrics, you have supporting documentation. Yeah, so single source of truth, no excessive paperwork, or understanding where the strategy is and what you're doing about it. Better understanding of stakeholder needs. That's what we started with. Instead of just having the list of stakeholders, we can actually have it in a very specific way. We can understand what their needs are. We can add more hypotheses about their needs, and we can quantify them with indicators to make them more specific. And what we can do, what I have not shown you before, but what we can actually do, we can assign here owner. And it's not just owner in terms of person who will receive notification. And for this purpose, we have our team. In this case, I can also assign stakeholders. They will not receive any notification, but for our team, we will see who stands behind this goal. Yeah. So like robust and scalable IT infrastructure, we can say, okay, in this case, we're talking about probably operations and project management team who are the main stakeholders of this. Yeah. So later in all the reports, I can filter by this stakeholder and understand how we are satisfying the need of this stakeholder, or if we're not satisfying the need of this stakeholder. Anyway, this was another tangible achievement. Defining accountability for goals by assigning owners. That's interesting because, well, first of all, we assign owners, and we know who is responsible for this goal. We also give access rights, so it's not just accountability, we also ensure certain transparency. If you want strategy awareness, but people don't see any strategy, how we can expect people to know what your strategy is? But in this case, we can give you only access. Also in terms of accountability, the platform has what is called audit trail. So you can select any goal, any item, any indicator, and you'll find here a button like history of change. And oops, I think I was locked out. No, everything okay. Yeah, so you will find this history of change button that will tell you the history about what's going on with this indicator, when it was created, who created it, when the value for this indicator was modified. So you have all the records of your activities. And this also happens for initiatives as well. Yeah, for initiatives, you can also see the history related to this initiative, when it was created, who did it, and so on and so forth. So accountability is one. Explainability by implementing alignments through data and context. That's what we discussed many times. So first of all, we explain the pillars of our strategy here. And for many goals, we can say why we have them on our scorecard. Like the example with pestle analysis, the heat wave. And that's why we have this goal, create accessible areas in our master plan. And vice versa, if I go to master plan and I have this goal here, someone asked me why you have this very goal in this case. I go to context and I see, it's because of we identified in this case identify the one of the factor, risk of heat wave, and we also identified that that is one of the needs of one of our stakeholders of local communities and residents. So explainability. It's easy to explain why we have this goal and why it's mapped in this specific way. A framework for continuous performance monitoring. That's what we do with any metric. So basically, if I open any metric, I will see this one, no, but I will see how it's changing over time. Let's see if we have some good example. I think, for example, air quality. We track it. We track it month by month in this case, on the last day of the month, and we can ensure data consistency as well. So in this case, it will be all the records will be recorded to the last day of the month. We know how it will behave if there is no data. In this case, for DEMA purposes, it will reuse the historical data, and we know how it will behave when we need to see a grouped data, like we have it month by month, but what if we needed to have quarter by quarter? In this case, it will be averaged. And what we also did was for this scorecard, we can actually track the performance using the metrics and track it for different locations. So anyway, that's one of the strong points of any specialized platform like our BSC Designer. Facilitating discussions with all the stakeholders. It's not just with external stakeholders. So for example, if I want to discuss something, I can do it in the context of this metric, for example. Time to deploy technological platform. I pick October and I want to say something, and this will be recorded to this October date as a comment from my side. Or if I want to partner with a local government, I have it here, and I can just add something as a comment here. Again, other members of my team will see it. So it's like the way we discuss it with the internally. And in terms of external stakeholders, again, it depends on how you see it. Like, for example, if I want to report to the municipal governments, I would build a dashboard for them. I would build a dashboard that features all the metrics that they want to see. And probably I would generate a report that would include this dashboard and will include all the goals relevant for the stakeholder and also all the supporting details, like how these metrics were performing over time. So it depends on how we see it. Better understanding of risks. With the risks, we did a good job here. For example, defining risk locally. And the good thing is that we don't just track risk as a one number, like high risk or low risk. We actually have this number, So I know that the risk is high or lower, but I also track separately likelihood and impact. So I know why this risk is high or lower. And I can also track it date by date. So if I move here, you see this one is moving on the chart. So I have a lot of control over how the risks are defined. Yes, and finally, performance reporting. In this case, the general approach would be to go to report or use one of the predefined report profiles or create your own. And if you want to automate it, you click schedule and people will start getting it every, depends how you'll schedule it, every month, every week on the email in PDF and showing the right data. Sometimes you just create a report with a dashboard and it's quite a nice picture. And also, I'm now thinking about reporting and discussion. In many cases, what you can link to this dashboard directly, or you can link to this metric directly, also this button here, or you can link to this initiative directly. What it gives me, when we discuss it, like imagine you discussed it in Slack or in WhatsApp or whatever, you just send a link to this item, and all members of your team know what you're talking about. It's not just like, there is a goal on that scorecard when you unfold that. No, you just give a direct link and you start discussing it right away. It's also useful during live calls. So these were the results achieved. And finally,